Hey guys, welcome to this week's mobility routine. Let's get straight into it with this first stretch called the Bretzel. So this stretch is a bit of a hip stretch and a bit of a back stretch. It's really good if you've got tight hips and a tight back. So let's get into it. So the first position you're going to get into is both legs are going to be 90 degrees. So I'm facing the camera, we've got my knee in line with my hip and my ankle in line with my knee. It's the same for this side, we'll spin round. We've got the other this leg, knee in line with the hip, and then ankle in line with the knee, and then the foot, this front foot lines up with the knee, which lines up with the ankle. So we're nice and tall, both legs are 90 degrees. From the front, okay, it's gonna look like this, okay? We're trying to sit nice and tall. I'm gonna twist over this front leg. This hand is gonna be in front of the knee, okay? This hand is in front of this hip. So I'm gonna twist around, try and stay nice and tall. Arms are going to be locked out. You might find this enough. You're going to feel it in this little corner here probably, and a bit around the back. We're going to stay in this position. If that feels okay and you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can kind of go onto the elbows, down to the ground, 90 degrees, and stay in this position. We're trying to twist to face the floor still. If you find that you lose that position, you have to kind of twist around, or you've got a bit of a half version going on. Just pick one or the other. Pick the one you can maintain a good position on. That is the first stretch, the Bretzel. This next stretch is a three-way hip stretch. So we're trying to open up different angles of the hip. Let's say if we're squatting, we're going to be kind of wider or narrow depending on build and limb length. We're going to stretch off that hip in different directions. It's similar to a Samson stretch, and we're in the same position, but we're pushing the knee in three different ways. Once you've done all three ways, that is 1 rep, and we're going to do 5 reps per side. So let's take a look. This is the position we're going to be in, similar to a Samson stretch. We're going to push the body forward, one way, go slightly wider, and then go slightly wider, and basically leaning into the hip. That is 1 rep. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's 5 per side. The position we're trying to get into on this is if you look from the side, both legs are 90 degrees. I'm trying to push this shoulder, hip and knee are in a straight line. I'm going to squeeze this bum cheek, I'm going to push forward. That is 1 rep. And we do that to those 3 directions. So we've got front, slightly wider, that is 1 rep. Front, slightly wider, that's 2. 5 per side. Now this next stretch is a hamstring one. It's called 90-90. It's really simple, but it's really effective. So let's go and have a look. We lay on the back, we've got 1 leg out straight, I'm stretching this hamstring out, my knees over my hip, I'm going to hold the back of my hamstring, I'm going to lie nice and flat, and all we're going to try and do is just kick this leg up to the ceiling, keeping this knee over the hip. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and it's 10 per side. Nice and simple. You can do that lying on the floor at home watching TV, watching a film or just chilling out, or do it takes 30 seconds after each class. Okay, now the next one is for the traps, which is the top of the muscle here. It runs all the way down to the middle part of your back. It's the bit that usually gets quite tight. As CrossFitters, it gets overused quite a lot. So people rely on it when they're rowing, they shrug up. Every time I tell you to sort of stop shrugging or like put the shoulders down on a row or a ring row, it's because we don't want this working on that movement. Snatches, cleans, and that kind of stuff is going to be used, and obviously when you do heavy weight, it's under a lot more stress. So we're going to try and stretch it out with this trap stretch. It's a nice and simple one again. It's cross-legged, okay? The side you're going to stretch, so this side for me now, I'm going to put this arm straight, either down by the hip, or you can put it behind your back, so your hand is flat on the floor. But it should be locked out, this arm's going to be nice and straight. So this hand is either by my side, or behind my back. I'm stretching this side. I'm going to lean my head to the opposite side while locking this arm out and pushing it through the floor. I'm going to stay here for 1 minute per side. You'll feel a big pull down from the ear, down to the side of the shoulder, down the back maybe. From here, you can play around with your head position. So if we're looking straight forward, and my ears to my shoulder, I can feel it. If I go to here, it feels completely different, but it's still in the same sort of area you want to try and work on. So move your head around a little bit, find where it feels tight, tuck your chin in, lift your head up a little bit, look up to the ceiling. How will it explore? It's gonna be tight, that area, because of the movements we do, the nature of what we're doing. So give it a go. This is again a simple one. You can do it before and after a class. and also when you're at home, chilling out, watching TV, or get the kids to do it with you as well. That is stretch 4. Now this week's stability exercise is a real simple one. It's basically a Samson stretch and a kind of a half lunge, and we're kneeling and we're going into a lunge position. So the idea is the upper body from the hips to the shoulders shouldn't move, it's just stepping forward and backwards with the legs. So let's show you kind of a few reps. Knees on the ground, I'm nice and tall, hips to the shoulders and the head shouldn't move. All I'm going to do is I'm going to bring one foot round, keeping this half of my body still, top half of my body still. I'm going to step, back down again. Step, back down again. We're going to go for 20 reps in total. So 10 each side, 20 in total. We're not trying to sort of shift around and move around sort of sloppily. Should be nice control, keeping this half nice and still, just moving the legs, and nice and slow. It's harder than it looks. Give it a go. That is this week's mobility routine. Once a day or twice a day if you've got time. Give it a go. Enjoy.